Hello, welcome back to episode 51 of the Xpack series. This is the current state of play. The car's back on the lift after all the other cars are now out of here. However, before I put it on the lift and block access to the doors opening, I am going to fit this bad boy. This is something that you really should have in every car that has an electric fuel pump of any sort. It's an inertia cutoff switch. So if you're unfortunate enough, like I was, to be in an accident, that there's a shunt in, this here has a wee ball inside it that whenever you push the button, it doesn't do anything, but you hit it a dig, it now cuts off. So on this car, whenever it came to me, this actually was on the car. It was fitted here in those two holes, but the fuel pump and everything was on that side on the other car. So on this side is now where the fuel pump wires are going to run. So I'm going to remount it here someplace, just using the same sort of style riv nuts. As long as it's mounted in the upright position, easy to get at, so that I can reset it if needs be. If somebody's been playing silly buggers or whatever on me at a show and they hit it a tap, I can reach it easy. It just saves running wires the long way. You can actually, if you keep the roll this up the other way, you can hear the rattling. Whenever it's sitting upright and you push the button, there's no rattling. As soon as you shake it, must be like a wee ball bearing or something in there. I'm not sure how it works really. I think it's going to go here. Okay, that's the two holes marked. Gonna go get my drill with the right bit on it and come back. Okay, now then, the iron should run over there, neatly out of the way, and this one kill switch slash rollover inertia switch thing fitted. That's the fuel pump wire ran now from obviously the fuel pump relay over there somewhere, down, following the same loom and heading up into there. I have it into the boot area. I've been underneath the car already, and I think I'm going to put a hole out through it here somewhere to keep it on the right side of the chassis leg. On the same instance, I'm going to chuck a cable out for the fuel sender as well, which is sort of in the same place, and run it through the same grommet. Save drilling two holes really. I think that should be all it needs to go out to the back from memory. Probably wrong, but I can always chuck another couple of holes in my new grommets if I need to. Yes, time to get going. it's going to be an earth point, so I'm going to put the fuel pump earth to it, the interior light earth, and any other wee lights and stuff I'm putting in the boot area can all be earthed to this point. Apologies if you can't quite see what I'm at. For some reason in this car there's 4 bolts in the boot, welded to captive nuts. Thought they might come in useful, so I didn't take them out. Turns out they are useful. So I'm going to put a fitting onto this boy, and a terminal fitting rather, and earth everything. So with the likes of this earth here, which I just tested the boot light and stuff with before, does work. So I'm going to run it obviously to this now. Fuel pump, fuel sender earth, different bits and pieces are all going to be earthed to that one bolt there. Hopefully don't need to wire the fuel pump completely up just yet, so I can hopefully get at that again whenever I need to. For now I'm happy that that's done. Okay, so as per usual, like a squirrel with ADHD, I've got distracted. As you might have seen in some of the social media posts in the last couple of weeks there, I've been trying to get wheels sorted for this thing. My mind has been all over the place trying to work out whether I wanted banded steels, if I wanted the JBW 4 spokes. But I thought I already have these, I might as well try them. So I've set the bag axle up onto an axle stand here, and I'm trying on some wheels basically. This is I only have one of these lips. It's a 3-inch lip. Got it off eBay, and I think it's actually perfect for what I want. Whenever there's a beefy tire on there, I think it should fill the arch nicely even. If you look up here, you can see there's a big lip here, so I don't really want this to come up and hit that anywhere near it. It's actually not that near it. There's a good 2 inches or something out there, but before it's actually going to hit. But well, it's hitting here. But I want a beefy tire on the back. I don't want a wee skinny stretched thing on the back of it. So I'm thinking if I leave them, that leaves that overall wheel 8.5 inch. So if I leave them at that width, I can space them out a wee bit if I need to. So I'm currently just in negotiations trying to get prices out of Image to try and get some new lips. For reference, on the front, that's a 15x8, and that's spaced out 15mm. So if I have a 15 or 16x8.5, that's only another 12.5mm or so. So in theory it should sit in around the same place without a spacer with the split rim, and that should hopefully then leave it, that'll not catch the arches either. I think I'm going to build this up properly, well potentially, I don't know yet, build this up with a tire on it and try it on the front before I actually hit the buy button, because lips are expensive. You're talking maybe they got 600 or 700 quid just for 4 outer lips. It's mental. But I'm this deep in now, as you can see. But there's more on the bench over here as well, a whole pile more. So yes. On another note, if anybody is a split rim guru and knows a bit about them, I bought these here on eBay as Image wheels. They were sold to me as Image. They are not Image. I'll put the specs of these in the description if anybody's able to actually identify for me what they are. Brief specs are 315mm centers, 30 holes, 4.5 inch lips. So whereas the Image are 320mm center, so they don't fit, not right. So yes, that's the next bit. I need to get wheels sorted for this to get the exterior of it sort of finished off. Tonight, whenever I go home, I'm going to print my fix for the Xpack bumper recess thingy and get the end caps fitted and the bumpers fitted some point over the weekend, hopefully. I need to step it up a gear again. I've sort of slacked off the last couple of weeks, haven't been near it, so it's time to get going again. So, between the wee break it took from cutting this thing here up to getting back to this, I've had a bit of a delivery. Some nice Corbu RRS seats. You might have seen them up on social media during the week. Now becomes the task of getting these flipping things fitted. I don't really know what to do just yet. I have a set of Recaro rails down there off a fishnet interior. They're sort of about the right height that I want them at the minute. They're not too tall up there. And as much as that's just sitting far too far back currently, because it's the only place it would balance for the video, I do want it to sit a lot further back than a standard Capri seat, mainly because I'm lanky, 6'4" and a bit. So I would like the seats, probably won't sit the full way back, but I'd like the opportunity to put them back if I want them. There's no rear seats going in, so I might as well make the most out of the legroom. I think my plan, if I'm going to set you down for a minute, in fact, I'll set you down back in a minute. On the seat rails that they come off at laser, actually these ones, the problem is, because of where the holes are on the base of the seat, which is just directly into the base on captive nuts, if I was just to screw them through, drill new holes and screw them through, these flipping linkages here still need to be able to turn. So I need to get a wee razor to lift it up over that, basically. That's pretty much what Ford did on the Recaros. They had this. However, if I put this on, it's not only raising it up by this much on these wee things, it's also raising it up on that step thing as well, which really isn't what I want. The way to get around that, I think, is going to be just to drop the height of this away down, level sort of with the angle, and chop these off, these two risers on each side. Then that hopefully should give me just enough to clear the mechanism, but not enough to hit the ceiling, hopefully. The only way I'm going to know is to find out. I probably should look up and see if these are worth money. I'd say they probably are. They're Recaro. But, YOLO. If it works for me, I'm happy. So I've welded this on the wrong way. Like a complete tool. That looks well. Anyway, it was only tacked. Okay, there is a pair of very rough looking, hopefully, seat mounts that'll work. They need all tidied up and painted and stuff yet, but I have dropped that down as much as I sort of dare, sort of still level-ish with the edge of the rail. So I suppose I'm going to tidy this up so it doesn't rip the bottom of a new seat and see if it fits. Okay, so that previous montage did lower the seat a good wee bit, but still not enough. It might be okay if you're a bit shorter, but I'm 6'4" and a bit, so my head doesn't quite hit the ceiling, but it's only maybe that much off it, and I don't particularly fancy going over a bump and nutting the flipping sunroof cassette. So I've had to admit defeat on this occasion, and I have bought a set of universal seat rails. My problem is that the mechanism is on the top of the rail, so anything that I try and bolt directly to the rails is going to stop the mechanism moving. Hence why I had to try and put these things on. So now that they are at the minimum height they can be to clear this, I'm going to have to, well, I have already bought a set of universal boils. So yeah, unfortunately it is what it is, but I wanted to try that previous fix to see if it worked. I have to say they look quite well in there. I'm very pleased with them overall. Once these other rails arrive, this is now Thursday. Once these other rails arrive on Monday, I think, I get down and get them fitted properly. Yeah. Okay, so while I was waiting, and while I still am waiting for the seat rails to arrive, I have went ahead and fitted my new clear indicators. We got those off a friend of mine in England, so thanks for posting them over. I've also got my oil cooler. It has arrived, so I'm going to buzz the grill out and see about how I'm going to mount it to the slam panel.
I went by your house, what a big mistake. But for a while I thought that I wouldn't break. I need something else to clear my head. Someone to tell me how to live instead. Just open your eyes and take my advice. Stop rolling the dice and just compromise. It's the chance of your life.
Okay, so you might have seen some head scratching in the last bit. Basically, it's a lovely wee oil cooler. Quite a wee slimline one, and I like the overall shape and size of it. However, it is too fat to go in to where the original valance is at the front down there, and it's also too fat to fit up in underneath there and underneath the, hang on, up in there. This is up an inch, 25mm, whereas this is 40mm deep, so it's going to stick out an extra 15mm from this, which is okay whenever the grill's on. You won't see it, I just need to get it down a wee bit to get it to clear. Although I suppose I probably could modify, it might be a better plan actually. I probably should modify this instead of the body shell, because I haven't painted this yet. So I think if I mark where this is sitting here, I'm going to put you in the tripod a minute. I think if I mark where this is sitting and then take a cut, or take a line, sorry, up and down here, cut like a wee piece out of it, and then I should be fit to make a relief big enough to get this through back in through this a bit more. Once I can get that done, then I can work out, once it's physically in place, I can work out bracketry and stuff. On this oil cooler, it has these two tabs and it has this arrangement on this end. So yeah, it's better going this way, I think. Sorry, this way. I think if I can get this in, I will probably leave this tab on whenever it's dropped down a wee bit, and drill and put a riv nut in here to hold it. And I'll probably make a bracket here that picks up both of these holes and then comes out and bolts onto this as well. Off the bottom of the oil cooler, I don't really know, does it, probably will need a support. Will it? Yeah, it probably will. Although if it's sandwiched up tight to the intercooler, it probably doesn't need a support, because it's going to be, it can't go anywhere. But we'll work that out later. I need to get, first of all, this part dead center, and draw a line where I need to cut with a bit extra room for maneuvering, and then away we go. Stop rolling the dice and just compromise. It's the chance of your life. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to save. Take control of your own life. Okay, so that's the area that I need to cut all marked out. I'm going to take this out now and take it to the bench and trim it, and then fit it back in and see what the crack is. Need to take the radiator out first of all, and then take this panel out. So we'll get going. Right now, every mistake makes you feel like a fake. Take control of your own life. Nothing in life is good. Tired and misunderstood. So that's the slot cut out. This is temporarily set back in. You can see now this will sit tight to the intercooler. However, I think I need to turn a little bit more off it on this side to let the pipes in, because I'm not going to be able to actually get a fitting through there. I could pull it right back to there, but it's still a wee bit tight. So I think I'm going to trim this on out a wee bit more on this side to let it fit in. Woo. As well as this bracket here. At the minute it's not letting the oil cooler go in anymore, so I'm gonna cut a wee groove in it here and fold it this way. Then I'll be able to drill a hole down through that, hopefully, make a wee spacer and bolt it in at the bottom, so at least it's not going to wobble in and out at the bottom. Still the same plan for this. I will hopefully be bolting it through this piece of steel here. So overall it's looking pretty good. I'm thinking I might have to space it out a wee hair. It can set out, it doesn't really matter. Because obviously the nuts on the back of this, I don't know what size it's going to be, but I want to be able to make sure it doesn't rub against the intercooler fins. So yes, I will bend this, then I can set it into place and see where it's going to go, and cut this. Thank you, Richard. So this bit was a success. The wee bend on it you can't see anymore, and this clears the grill nicely. However, this does not, now that it sticks out like that, and the grill fits in lovely at the bottom, as you can see, but the top is hitting there. So I think I'm going to lop this off. Then the grill will go in tight. This has two holes on it over here already, so I'm going to make a bit of stuff to come up and then over, or up and then a twist in it and screw through here. Or I suppose I could just bend that out. That might work too, actually. Just bend it out and put a thing straight up and down. So it'll be supported on this side and both sides, and this side at the bottom. I can't see it going anywhere really. Famous last words, but I can't see it going anywhere. The wind pressure is going to be pushing it backwards into the intercooler, so I don't think it needs to be that well secured. I still need to cut a wee bit more out here. As you can see, it's a bit tight for a fitting, so I'll just cut a wee bit more off here, and yeah, I think it'll work all right. Okay then, that's one intercooler sitting ready where I want it. I've come up with a bit of a different idea for mounting this thing on this side. This is now cut off neatly, and whenever it's painted you'll not notice. I'm going to drill it down through here and put a riv nut through to bolt it down on this side. The tab that I cut off here is going to be welded on over here, I think. I'll weld it on over here, and because it's tight to this, it shouldn't actually hit. I'm going to try the grill on a second just to double check that, but if that's on there in tight, I think it should be okay. Once that's welded on, it'll be mounted physically at each corner, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It can't go that way because of the intercooler, and I can't see it trying to come this way realistically because the air is going to be pushing it back. So pretty happy. I will not do this today. I'm running out of time here, so I'll get this welded on at some point, and whenever I'm piping it all up and stuff, I'll show you that as well. So yes, quite happy that that fits. Just double check the grill fits. That's one thing about this channel. I never do anything off camera to see if it fits. First of all, I always try and do it while I'm talking. So that's on, perfect. Like literally millimeters in it, but it fits. Very happy with that, actually. Very happy. Okay, now the oil cooler is roughly into place. I'm going to wrap it up for another episode. The next stages for this, as I said, is going to weld this tab on, rev nut this, fit the grill back on and pipe it up. I have the seats and stuff, the rails due to arrive on Monday, so the next episode probably will be fitting seats. I have these 3D printed with the wee reinforcing circles and stuff on them. They need to go on to be riveted onto the body kit in behind this, so that it gives the clip somewhere to go, the square holes. So that'll probably be done the next one as well, and maybe modifying fuel rails and stuff. I have went ahead and ordered some AN6 weld-on fittings for the standard BOA fuel rail to convert it to AN6, and get the oil returns and stuff done as well. So plenty to be at. If you've liked what you're seeing and you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button, give it a like or dislike, whichever, and pop over to my social medias, which should appear on the screen somewhere. If you really like what you're seeing and you wish to support the channel to create better content, pop over to my Patreon. There should be a link in the middle of the screen and at the top right. There's plenty of stuff over there for patrons. You get different perks, you get early access to all the videos, so you see it before the general public. And it's just a way to support the channel to try and help make better content, basically. So yes, until the next one, which will hopefully be next week, have a good one. Bye.